Chapter 4, Mishnah 5. We now return to the laws of blowing the shofar. The shofar is blown before the prayer of Musaf and at 3 different points during the prayer. To understand the Mishnah, a basic knowledge of the Musaf prayer is required. On other festivals, this prayer contains just 7 blessings. 1. Fathers. 1. Fathers, Magen Avraham. 2. Powers, Mechayeh HaMeitim. 3. Holiness of the name, Ha'el HaKadosh. 4. Holiness of the day, Mekadesh Yisrael Vazmanim. 5. Service, Ritzeh. 6. Thanksgiving, Modim. 7. Blessing of peace, Sim Shalom, which is also called blessing by the Kohanim. On Rosh Hashana, we add 3 passages. 1. Malachiot, kingship, which attests to the kingship of God over this world and the world to come. 2. Zichronot, remembrances, which describes God's trait of remembering people and their needs. 3. Shofarot, shofars, which speaks of the shofar heard at Mount Sinai and the shofar that will announce the coming of the Mashiach. The remembrances passages and the shofar passages are blessings in their own right. Thus, together with the 7 blessings of a regular Musaf, the Rosh Hashana Musaf has a total of 9 blessings. The kingship passage, by contrast, is included in one of the regular blessings, as the Mishnah discusses. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. This is the order of the blessings of the Musaf prayer of Rosh Hashanah. He says the blessing of fathers, the blessing of powers, and the blessing of holiness with the name, and the blessing of holiness of the name, and combines the kingship passage with them, i.e. with the blessing of the holiness of the name, but does not blow the shofar after the kingship passage. He then says the blessing of holiness of the day and blows the shofar. He then says the blessing of holiness of the day and blows the shofar, the remembrance passage as a separate blessing and blows the shofar, and the shofar passage as a separate blessing and blows the shofar. He then says the final 3 blessings, temple service, thanksgiving, and blessing by the Kohanim. These are the words of Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. The next Tana disagrees with the placement of the kingship passage. Rabbi Akiva said to him, if he does not blow the shofar for the kingship passage, why does he recite it? Rather, the order is this. He says the blessings of fathers, powers, and holiness of the name without the kingship passage. He includes the kingship passage with the next blessing, holiness of the day, and blows the shofar. He then says the remembrance passage as a separate blessing and blows the shofar, and the shofar's passage as a separate blessing and blows the shofar. He then says the final 3 blessings, temple service, thanksgiving, and blessing by the Kohanim. Rabbi Akiva includes service, thanksgiving, and blessing by the Kohanim. Rabbi Akiva includes the kingship passage in the 4th blessing, holiness of the day, while Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri includes it in the 3rd blessing, holiness of the name. Both agree, however, that the shofar is sounded after the 4th blessing.